Bob, so many of your players are coming back. And you've always talked about that's the greatest thing about coaching and relationships. So how does it make you feel, coaches, players coming back, reaching out to you?
It's the best part of it. Never made any bones about it. I love my players. Very sentimental, care about all of them. So to see so many coming back and have a chance to run into them, it'll be the best. I'm looking forward to that part more than anything.
We hear a lot of good things being said about you from your former players. Does it remind you, think of '98 when Coach Fry retired and how much he meant to you at that time?
No doubt. Coach Fry is incredibly special to me, and the opportunity there led to all of this. And I got to even give credit to Bob Cummings, who recruited me. He was a Youngstown guy, probably the only reason he gave me a chance. No one else, no other big school was giving me a chance, and he gave me an opportunity and led meeting my wife to all those experiences at Iowa, and ran in today, talked to Barry Alvarez, and Dan McCarty and I ran into each other. So talked with him, and just great friendships, and led to this, this whole journey. It's pretty special.
Have you been on Twitter or social media much and seen all the tributes?
I need to come back, don't I? No, I haven't.
So you haven't seen the
out.
players reach out to you and things?
I haven't yet. A couple people today out at the golf course told me that. So I need to pick up on it, and I may come back tomorrow to get back on Twitter a little bit.
Bob,
so
figuratively,
I took a little break.
Figuratively speaking, you've kind of rolled your eyes at this whole statue thing, but tomorrow's the day.
Whoa.
No, you know what I mean.
No.
We'll talk about that when it's time.
Correctly at all.
Okay.
I never rolled my eyes. Great appreciation for, OU, our administration doing this whole thing. Maybe what you're trying to say, it's not in my nature to want something like that, but I so appreciate it to be in that group of coaches with, of course, Benny, Bud, and Barry, and gotten to know Barry so well. Such a great guy, and so I'm very humbled by it and appreciate it, the efforts by everyone to do that. And I spent my whole career walking into Barry Switzer Center, and that's no small deal to walk by what he did, and his record all those years. So to have a place alongside him is pretty special. And not pretty special, it's incredibly special.
What do you anticipate tomorrow? Your emotions, what are they going to be tomorrow?
I'm not, to me, this is all exciting and fun. Great to see the players tonight and tomorrow. It's not a place, I'm not an emotional guy when it comes to all that. It's just not my nature. But is it exciting and fun? And yeah, it's great. Listen to Clark over there, Stroud, our Dean of Students. So anyhow, emotions will be not emotions, but just, again, appreciation for so many people. I said it when I accepted the job, when we get it turned around and we play like Oklahoma's supposed to play, it'll be because of the efforts of everybody, not just me. And I know that. So it wasn't just me. A lot of administration, the coaches, the fans behind us, sold out stadiums, players, their efforts and their commitment, all of that, is what got it done, and not just me.
Has it hit you yet that thing will be up for years and years and years after you're gone, after we're all gone?
Yeah, I sort of, I don't know if it has or not. I don't know when it hits you, Hopefully I'm around where I got grandkids, go by and see it, but, we'll see. Hopefully that works out.
Is any part of it, going through this experience, is that as a coach, you're always, even when you accomplish something, you move on, start over again, try and do it all over again? Is it hard to be humbled, about something, because you're usually not thinking about when things are over, you're thinking about what's next?
Yeah, that's always, and I still kind of, even though I'm a year out of coaching, I still feel like there's something else coming. So I'm not ready to look back yet, but maybe I should. You make a good point. All those years I was asked that type of thing of what you've done, and I'm like, I don't care what I've done. I'm worried about what I'm going to do next year or what's coming. So now it's not there. So maybe I need to start reflecting back a little more than I have.
Coach, what has this whole transition been like for you, and just watching games from a different perspective this season? Was it easier than you thought, harder?
No, it was hard, but it's what I expected. I knew it would be hard. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just such a change, So it's been difficult, but I knew that. I knew it would be, and that you deal with it and you keep moving forward. But again, that doesn't mean it isn't the right. It wasn't right for me. It was. It's just haven't adjusted to it totally, and that's okay. I am little by little more travel, little more golf, a lot more golf, little longer workouts, not having to hustle back to a meeting. So it's all been good.
What's your handicap now?
I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I'm playing at a 12 right now, so it needs to get better.
Bob, when you took over the program, it wasn't doing really well, but Mike talked
That's
about.
an understatement.
Yes, it is. But we were talking to Mike yesterday, and he was talking about how when you guys were growing up, you knew about Bud Wilkinson and you knew about Barry Switzer. Oklahoma was a great power, and that helped to make that decision easier for you. Do you agree with that?
I did grow up loving, and that wasn't made up when I came here. I said that I loved Oklahoma football. Well, who didn't?
Right.
The flashiness, Coach Switzer, the players, the wishbone. I mean, that was the best. So it was exciting, and winning. Everyone loves a winner, and through those years they were winners, and so I always paid attention and watched them, and that was genuine. I truly did. So when I had the opportunity here, it was special. I knew. I said this before. I remember watching Oklahoma get beat bad by somebody. I'm in the Florida locker room, and I said to the coaches, I said, that's a shame. I said that shouldn't be happening. So then it happened. So just lucky that President Bourne and Joe Castiglione gave me a chance.
What do you want your legacy to be here? Beyond a statue and trophies and championships, what do you hope for?
Hopefully I helped the program. I was a good steward to the university. I was good to my players. I love my players. They benefited from being around not just myself, but our coaches and our leadership. And, we stood for what was right, and in so many ways, and feel like we did.
Talking with Mike yesterday, he mentioned the hypothetical of if Iowa had offered and you offered OU at the same time, how different things could have been if you had gone the Iowa route. Do you ever think about that or look at what things could have been?
No, because that isn't what happened. I'm not much on hypotheticals or what ifs. I believe God has a plan for you, and obviously his plan for me was this. Again, grateful to it and feel blessed beyond belief, how it all went. I really do, and I'm not afraid to say it. For whatever reason, I've been blessed so many ways, the chance to go to Iowa. I probably had no business going to Iowa, and then it worked out for me. And I almost left Iowa after my first semester, and for whatever blessing, and I stayed. And then look what all happened. Played the next 4 years, and so I did my best to foul it all up, but for whatever reason he didn't let me.
Bob, Lincoln really sunk his teeth into the changes to the spring game in the past few months. What's it been like to watch him do that, and also did you feel like that really signified him really kind of grasping control and maybe a bigger change than that had happened before?
I don't feel the spring games where Lincoln's changed anything. I think Lincoln's incredible. I love what he's doing with every part of the program. The way he led the team last year, getting us to the playoffs in his first year, the way we played, his leadership, all of that is what I'm impressed with. The spring game's a minor deal compared to everything else he's done. So Lincoln's the right guy, and again, just always excited about everything he's doing and continues to do.
How big of a pivot do you sense this is right now? Him taking control. There's been some changes with the apparel. Is this a big pivot for Oklahoma athletics right now? Do you feel like?
I don't know about a pivot. I think we just continue to go forward in a really positive way. He did that last year. I mean, so you know, the Jordan Brand deal was in the works for a year ahead of that. So we knew that was coming. I did, you didn't. But the bottom line is Lincoln's doing the right things, and he showed that all last year from the day he took over. I don't feel anything different now. I just feel he's done the right things from the start, and he's going to continue to.
What do you think about Baker's track from coming as a walk-on, established himself at Oklahoma, and now a possible first-round draft pick?
Love it. You know, it's a story, it's a movie, it's a TV show, whatever you want Baker to be. But what his journey, it's incredible. It's you don't hear of it much. You don't hear of it at all. You know, two-time walk-on to, you know, 3 years as a starter, breaking records, setting passing. What is it? The passer efficiency rating, you know, records, and you know, now being a first, hopefully he will be a first-round draft pick, a high pick, and he's special. You know, that guy's just incredible, and he told everybody what he was when he came here, when he just saw a redshirt freshman win the MVP, Trevor Knight, and win the Sugar Bowl, MVP of the Sugar Bowl as a redshirt freshman, beats Alabama, but I'm going to go there and play. That's all you need to know. Who else does that? You look around the country, and most guys are looking for who doesn't have a quarterback. That wasn't him, you know, and that's just how he is, as you guys know now.
You were coaching in this game last year. You were the coach of the spring game last year.
That's right, I was.
Was it right after that game when you started thinking about it?
There was no time period. Again, I told you that's something that just evolved over time.
Bob, what does it mean to you for Drake and Isaac to choose to walk on?
I love it. You know, I love that they'll forge their own path, and I love it that I can go watch them and still watch OU if that's the case, not have to go somewhere else. But you know, I'm just excited for the opportunity, see what they can do. I've told them, you know, they don't need to do anything because of me. It has to be what's in their heart. It's a tough business, and if that's what they want to do it. If it's not, don't, you know. But so I'm, you know, hopefully it works well for them. I'm excited about the coaches they'll be around because they're great men, and that matters to me too. They'll be around the right people, you know, and how they go through, you know, each work day, and being with good people matters.
Bob, in 2000, nobody was talking about you in the media. Talking to some of your guys from that team, they said they had a little bit of an inkling in training camp. But did you as coaches feel like you were going to be pretty good?
Yeah, I felt we were going to be good, better than the year before. But did you know the whole?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I got the inkling. You know, you got to go back to the first 4 games. Chuck Long told me this. I saw him about a month ago. Chuck, I was speaking in Iowa, and we got together. I went around the office Sunday before the Texas game, and usually we're in there all night. I told the guys, I said, get out of here early. We're going to kick whatever out of these guys, because all I wanted to do was have them be confident. I wanted energy, and I said, and be rested. I want you guys on fire tomorrow, Monday, when we see the players. And Chuck goes, have you seen us play? We're not very good, you know. we're behind Kansas at halftime, right? Maybe the week before or week before. At halftime, we're behind. But I just felt I wanted to project the confidence and the end, and I wanted them, the coaches, excited and with energy, and I told Chuck that, and so I had a method, but anyhow, it worked. What is it, 42-7 in the second quarter? Anyone remember? Mm-hmm. And I said on it, so that's when I thought we were pretty good. I said it on the headphones to the coaches. I said, you know what, guys, we're pretty good. So, and then of course it kept building, and it really hit me in Nebraska when we, after being down 14 points, we come back and 31 straight points, and we're pretty good. You know, you beat the #1 team in the country like that. Now can we keep doing it, you know?
What has it meant to you kind of to be able to be a guy that has his own coaching tree? I mean, you put a lot of guys out there as head coaches. You've got players now like Seth, you know, as a head coach.
Love it.
Josh is a head coach now.
Yeah, no, I love that. To me, I always want the best for my assistant coach. Guys that have worked hard here and been successful, I want them to be head coaches. And everyone always, oh, can you keep them? It isn't about keeping somebody. He did a great job for us. Let him go on and be his own head coach. And I loved it. And I love that. I love following them. I follow all of them. And I love it now. Seth Luttrell's doing so well. One of my former players, Josh Heupel, a head coach now. Anyhow, I want that for them. That matters.
You talk to him all the time, but is there any part of you that's been surprised that Brent hasn't been a head coach?
Yes and no. Brent has all the qualities for it, but also it's an individual choice. Sometimes is it what you want? I turned down a couple head coaching jobs when I was an assistant coach. Either weren't the right ones for whatever reason. I didn't feel it fit me. I liked what I was doing. So why, sometimes, it may not be for everybody. And that's okay. And heck, the money Brent's making now, he may not need to be a head coach. So, anyhow, it's that way. Like I said, I had some opportunities as an assistant. I'm like, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And in fact, about a month after being here, first month I was here, I went back to Gainesville, and my car dealer, you guys have heard this, I've said it, picks me up at the airport, Jacksonville, and it's an hour drive back to Gainesville. I said to Rick, I go, Rick, I think I've ruined my life. So I don't know what the heck I went and did. I had a great job here in Florida, and you got no idea the headache I have back in Norman, Oklahoma. But obviously, we changed it pretty quick, but that's the truth. So sometimes it's not for everyone for different reasons.
Was that shortly after you saw the chicken bones on the practice field and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's too many things, believe me. And I was swimming, trying to find a recruit, trying to get a staff. Players were so bad out of shape, it was like, man, I was like, wow, I had no idea what I was dealing with here. But it turned around pretty quick. Fortunately, because of the players' attitude, they wanted it turned around too. And that 99 team's really special, and really special to me, because they're the ones that embraced us, and they were tired of losing too, and they started getting it turned quickly.
Can I ask you about one more game? The Texas A&M game was so loud, and it seemed like Josh was so poised in that game, and you guys couldn't even hear yourself, if I remember. So talk about that game, and that game's so pivotal.
It was huge, gosh. We were scrapping, fighting. They were a good team. They had just 2 years prior, won the Big 12 championship. So, it was a tough game. And, and then we're behind in the fourth quarter, and we take the lead with a defensive interception. And I don't know how Torrance scored. It just, to this day, he's hardly touched. And, that's just, did that happen? And, it's just, I said, it just meant to be. I said it on the phones again. I said, we can't lose. This is what we're doing, and the significance of getting up 4, where 3 points couldn't tie us, and we stop them on fourth down, and so anyhow, it was huge. It was huge, and that's when you really knew, all right, we're going to do this, and it kept happening.
Bob, you been offered any book deals yet? You gonna write your own book someday, or?
I'm thinking about it. Possibly. We'll see. I don't know if there's a market out there for it or not, so we'll see. I don't know.
Do you feel any different about the prospect of coaching again a year after where you're coming up on a year all of a sudden?
Well, Coach Spurrier keeps nagging me about being his D coordinator in that new league. So. I don't know. I don't think I can do that. But
what do they pay D coordinators in that league?
I don't know. That's something we have to discuss, he and I. But no, I don't. It's not something I'm looking to do.
Media? What, media?
I've been asked, but again, it's TV and all. But there's travel. There's day travel there, day travel back, preparation ahead of it, and I got OU games to watch, and I don't know. I'm not somebody who. And I don't feel any need that I need to be on TV. So we'll see. I don't want to say no to anything, but the right opportunities or maybe some spot parts here and there. But so I don't know. I'll see.
Bob asked you a little bit ago about Bill asked you about Drake and Isaac. Is there any part of you that thinks that might have been interesting to coach them?
Sure. To see them every day and be in that competitive environment, it does to a degree. But I'm not gonna get in their way, and just what they're gonna do, wasn't gonna change what I felt I needed to do. So I want them to be their own men and do what they need to do for themselves and find their own way.
You miss your players, I'm sure. You miss competing, of course. Is there anything that you've discovered you missed about coaching that maybe that surprises you, or that you didn't expect? Really,
all of it, and I knew I'd miss it. Just the camaraderie with the coaches, the staff, the support staff, seeing the players daily, all of it. But the positive part is, I'm not a stranger to Lincoln and the staff. I'm not a stranger to the players. So, I can come by 2-3 times a week, see everyone, go through the office, or go out to practice, and it isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Everyone's okay with it, So that gives me, that helps me, that I can still do it when I can.
Have you seen the statue up close yet?
I have.
What do you think of it?
I don't know that it was totally finished, but I saw it close to finish.
Okay.
I thought Mr. Moore, right, did an awesome job with it. It looks exactly like me. I was disappointed it wasn't more handsome, but sadly it looks just like me. Yeah. So, but I thought they did a great job with it, and like I said, thought it looks great.
Jason White tweeted at you, "Welcome to the Statue Club."
Did he really? That's awesome. Well, tell him I'm proud to be in that group, and get Baker up there and complete it, for right now anyway. Get Lincoln up there in not a few years, but in about 30 years maybe, and in a few more Heismans.
Is there anything you really remember about what became your last day as head coach, or was addressing the team for the last time, or anything like that?
Yeah, that was hard. That was the only part that was hard for me, because I knew I was doing what I felt was right for me, and wasn't solemn about it. I was ready for it, and it just, but letting them know that there's going to be a change. They're like your kids. It's just, that's the only part that to me was at all, a little bit emotional. That look, this is what I need to do, and they were great about it. And let them know that the direction we were going to go. And after that, heck, they processed it for maybe 30 seconds and started standing up, giving me a standing ovation. So it was great. It was okay. And fortunately, Kerry, he's the one that knew first, and he held it so that I was trying to. He says, "This real?" And I told you, I hit him back and I said, "It's going to happen." I was hoping to get another day or two. We had it planned out, but I knew, as soon as it starts traveling through different arenas, it's hard to keep down. And so I asked him, I'm going to have a meeting with the players later. Would you keep it, hold on to it? But few people wouldn't do that, and that's how it goes. That's all right. You might have got a bigger bonus, Kerry, if you'd have broke the story, but sorry.
I'm all boss, so.
Anyhow.
I decide the bonuses.
Yeah. So anyhow, it's just how it unfolded. When something like that doesn't just happen real easy. So we work through it.
We talked about the job Lincoln's done. What about in recruiting? He has 3 commitments today. Has all these guys in for the spring game. Just an added dimension to recruiting.
Well, it's a different deal now.
Yeah.
Now you got official visits this time of year. You use early signing. Love it that now our former players are allowed to bump into them and see them. So it's a whole different game now, and it's positive. I think the early signing's the right thing to do, and so I love it. I didn't even see the commitments this today, but that's awesome. And hopefully we get more tomorrow and Sunday. I'm sure we will.
It's up to 4.5.
Great.
You,
Awesome.
You first get here and you talk about all the problems. The facilities weren't great when you got here. And that was one when you won the national championship in 2000. It started kind of a rebirth. You built the indoor, you built the east side stands.
And even Joe and President Bourne, we threw money into the locker room the first month we were here started changing it. Like, well, we're not walking in this every day.
Yeah.
And so they did what they could even immediately. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
But and just to see where it is now, I mean, once you walk out the door, it's paying dividends now.
You know what, I'm proud of that as well, that I was part of the transformation of the unit of our facilities, stadium, and our working area. You know, it's like night and day. There's nothing to compare, you know, now. And I am proud that that was part of our, you know, my transition here and being, you know, building what we have. And now you're right, we can recruit. We've got either the best or as good as anyone has with every part of our facility.
How much of that?
And indoor and Headington Hall and, you know, everything that there is.
When you talked about, you know, going back to Florida, and when you had people come after you. I mean, or Ohio State came after you, Florida came after you. Was Joe's commitment and David Bourne's commitment to rebuilding things a big part of why you?
Absolutely. They're first of all, our working relationship, the trust we have with each other, the friendships. You know, that these are the men that hired me, and they're I trust what they say and do, and they always had a commitment to keep moving forward. There was never there was always something being built, something next coming, and, you know, from the indoor to the dorms to the, you know, we've redone our players' facility probably 3 times. So, you know, there was always a push to keep improving and keep pushing forward. And yeah, that was always a part of why I felt, no, there isn't a reason to leave here. You know, this is as good as it gets. I'm working with the best people I could and the best people out there in the business, and I don't take that for granted. You know, your leadership and the people you work for, as probably all of you know, makes a difference. And they were always great and always pushing forward. So yeah, it's a strong reason why I felt I'm gonna stay here and keep doing what we're doing.
Got time for just a couple more?
Have you met the new president yet?
I have. Jim Gallagly, hopefully he's here tonight. But Lincoln and I went over together to go to the announcement, and we're getting. You heard that story. We're getting out of our cars and get out at the same time, right? Right there with he and Chris Purcell. So we had a good talk right away, and then sat in his meeting, you know, with a bunch of faculty for about an hour, and just incredibly impressed with them and excited about, you know, the future and what he'll do, and you know, just feel he's a perfect fit for us right now.
Had you had a chance to meet him before?
No, I hadn't. Okay. Not before then.
I was looking through some old photos of you and the players, and stumbled across your bowl practices for UConn, for Fiesta Bowl, and then that next spring. And in those photos, Lane Johnson was playing defensive end at that time. Is he maybe one of your favorite stories of a guy that?
Oh, I've got so many, but yeah, Lane's from junior college quarterback to Bobby Jack recruitment just because he was a tall, big guy, you know, athlete, great athlete, big, you know, it's kind of like when we didn't know what we were going to do with Dan Cody. I said, we'll figure something out. He got a big, strong, fast athlete. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. And that was the same thing kind of with Lane, that look, and so we went from maybe thinking tight end to starting at D end, and fortunately, I think it was spring, someone got hurt, and it's like, we're really have no tackles. And I said to Smitty, I go, what would it take for Lane Johnson to be a tackle? And well, he said something like a week and a cheeseburger, you know, like no time at all to be 300 pounds. He said, he goes, he intentionally kind of cuts back to keep his weight down at the end. So anyhow, it's exciting, and then to see how well he plays, he's proud of him. So it's a neat story.
Mike had some strong words the other day about what's going on with teachers in this state. Is that something that feels close?
Yeah, I'm from a family of teachers. My dad, of course, 30 years as a high school teacher, and my sisters have been a teacher and a principal. My uncle I'm named after is a teacher. So you grow up with a family of teachers. It matters to you, So anyhow, and I think our students, our young people, deserve the opportunity to learn in the best environments possible. So I'm not a politician. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I hope we can, do more for our students and for our teachers. It's important.
We got to keep moving.
Bob,
Thank
thanks.
you, everybody.
All right, thank you, everybody. Sorry I was late. Trouble with the van getting here. So.